The Paradox of the Yoke, Part 9. In the realm of Christian teachings, the concept of the yoke presents a profound paradox that challenges our understanding of burden and freedom. The words of Jesus recorded in the Gospels offer a perplexing invitation. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy, and my burden is light. Matthew 11:29-30. At first glance, the notion of taking on a yoke seems contradictory to the promise of rest and lightness. A yoke traditionally used to harness oxen or other beasts of burden symbolizes subjugation, toil, and the weight of responsibility. How then can the yoke of Christ be described as easy and light? The paradox unveiled. The paradox lies in the realization that true freedom and rest are not found in the absence of burdens, but in the embrace of the right yoke. Jesus invites us to exchange the heavy yokes of the world, the burdens of sin, anxiety and self-reliance, for his yoke, which is tailored to our needs and designed to align our lives with his divine purpose. When we take on the yoke of Christ, we surrender our own limited strength and wisdom, and instead we yoke ourselves to the one who is gentle, humble, and all-knowing. In this union, the burdens we once carried alone become shared, and the weight is distributed between us and the one who promises to bear our burdens with us. Psalm 55:22. The paradox resolved. The paradox is resolved when we understand that the yoke of Christ is not a burden imposed upon us, but a voluntary submission to his guidance and leadership. It is a willing exchange of our self-centered desires for his divine will, which ultimately leads to true freedom and rest. By yoking ourselves to Christ, we find rest for our souls, not because the challenges of life disappear, but because we are no longer carrying them alone. The yoke of Christ provides us with the strength, wisdom, and grace to navigate life's difficulties with a sense of purpose and peace that transcends our circumstances. Moreover, the yoke of Christ is easy and light because it is perfectly fitted for us. It does not chafe or weigh us down with unnecessary burdens, but rather it aligns our lives with the path of righteousness, love, and eternal fulfillment. When we walk in step with Christ, our burdens become lighter, and our souls find rest in the assurance of his presence and guidance. The invitation to embrace the paradox. The paradox of the yoke challenges us to redefine our understanding of freedom and rest. It invites us to embrace the counter-initiative truth that true liberation and peace are found not in the absence of burdens, but in the willing submission to the yoke of Christ. As we wrestle with this paradox, we are called to lay down our self-reliance, our pride, and our misguided notions of what it means to be free. Instead, we are invited to take up the yoke of Christ, to learn from him, and to experience the profound rest and lightness that comes from walking in step with the one who knows us better than we know ourselves. In the end, the paradox of the yoke is a testament to the wisdom and love of our Saviour, who offers us a way to exchange our burdens for his peace, our weariness for his rest, and our bondage for true freedom in him. The parable of the weary oxen. A farmer had 2 oxen, who pulled the plough in his fields. One ox was young and strong, the other old and weary. The young ox would strain mightily against the yoke, pulling with all its strength, yet the plough moved slowly through the hard soil. The old ox seemed to pull with little effort, yet the plough glided along smoothly. The young ox said to the old, "How can you pull so easily? I am putting my full force into it, yet you seem to move the plough with no struggle at all." The old ox replied, "My child, I have learned that the harder I pull against the yoke, the more it shafts, and the heavier the burden becomes. But if I accept the yoke and move in harmony with it, the way becomes light." "But does not accepting the yoke mean resigning yourself to bondage?" asked the young ox. "Is not the very existence of the yoke an oppression?" The old ox responded, "The yoke does not come from an unjust master, but from the good farmer himself, who knows what burden we can bear. His yoke is well fitted, and his way is peace. Those who resist find only weariness, but those who trust discover rest for their souls." And so the young ox learned to pull not against the yoke, but in step with it, finding the farmer's burden is light indeed.